Brickman117, welcome back to the channel and my review of the Mega Construx Halo set GCM44 UNSC Hornet Blitz. The set comes with 207 pieces and consists of a UNSC Hornet and two figures, a UNSC Pilot and a banished Grunt. Weapons wise, it comes with one fuel rod cannon and one Magnum. This set was released in 2019, so it has the current easy open box and box art from Mega. It doesn't, however, come with numbered bags, so you will be back to sorting out your pieces before you build on this set. And with that said, here comes the speed build. For the rest of that build, be sure to visit my channel after this video. So now that the set's all finished and it's all built up, what are my thoughts on it? To be honest with you, I'm amazed how surprised I am by how much I like this set, almost to the point that I feel slightly guilty because I honestly wasn't going to buy this set because I just didn't like the look of it compared to the original Hornets. I just felt like they'd taken a step back here. It's not as detailed, it's not as bulky, and I just felt like some of the other Hornets were a better job. The main reason I bought it was because I want to complete my set. The whole reason I've done a review for it is because I wondered how many other people had the same opinion that I do about this set and therefore haven't bought it. Originally I figured I'll just do a speed build and put that out there because I enjoy making speed build videos. But once I'd made the set for the speed build video, I enjoyed the build so much and noticed so much about this model that I liked, I decided to do a review. I'm going to talk about the figures first and then we'll move on to the Hornet later on. When it comes to the figures, neither of them are particularly show-stopping figures, but by no means are they not nice figures. If we start with the UNSC Pilot, I'm sure you'll agree there's not much to grumble about with this figure. The level of detail on his boots and his chest armour is particularly impressive. Colour scheme wise, I think they've got it spot on again here. I really like this combination of colour. They've used it quite a lot recently, and with his blue visor, I just think it emphasises it even more. In regards to weapons, you can see he just comes with a single Magnum. Moving on to the banished Grunt, it's a similar story again. Nothing spectacular, but certainly nothing to complain about. It's just a very well made, highly detailed minifigure. One thing that does make a big difference with this Grunt is they've put paint application onto his eyes. You can see the red eyes in the image there, and it just makes all the difference. I think they should always try and paint the eyes on any of their figures whenever they can. One other thing to note with this figure is, unlike the Grunt that came in the aerial ambush set I reviewed recently, his breather assembly on his face is actually attached to him. You can't take that off, but it does have paint application on it, as you can see. It's really well done, it's quite accurate. In regards to his weapon, as you can see, he's got the classic fuel rod cannon just waiting to blow you up with. Moving on to the Hornet, I'd like to start by going back to something I mentioned at the beginning of this video, which was how I almost didn't buy this set. And the reason I didn't buy it was because I was comparing this set to the old Hornet, and everything I'd seen, all the images that I'd seen in the various videos that I'd watched, the set didn't impress me. I didn't feel like it'd be something that I would like. Now that I've built the Hornet and I've had a chance to have a real good look at it, I've realised I quickly forgot all about the old Hornet, and I just started viewing this set as a new set. It's just a remake of an old set. It doesn't have to be compared. It can be good in itself without being better than its predecessor. One of the first big surprises for me was how much I enjoyed the actual build process. For such a small set with such a low piece count, I was amazed at how much satisfaction I got out of actually putting this thing together. That said, I did discover one design issue with this set that could have been easily overcome in my opinion, but I'll talk more about that later. Taking a closer look at some of the features on the Hornet, we'll start with the canopy. As you can see, the canopy is a snug fit canopy that does clip down onto the fuselage very securely. I'll admit I'm not a big fan of the blue tint on the canopy. I probably would have preferred clear. I know there's been some controversy over them using this flip-up style of canopy as opposed to the old Hornet slide canopy, but I've got to be honest, with this set, I think they made the right decision here, and the shape of the canopy molds beautifully into the actual fuselage of the Hornet. Moving on to the engine pods, you can see that you can rotate these to almost any angle you want. The actual turbo fans inside the pods don't actually rotate, but on the underside, as you can see, they do have these very cool little jet fire streams coming out the bottom, which I think just makes it look really, really good. It's amazing how much of an impact these two tiny little pieces give to the overall look of this set. Next up we come to the two projectile launchers on the top of the wing set. As you can see, they both fire nice and easy to use, so no problems there. And you also get two spares which are just stored underneath the wing section directly below the launchers. Another little feature that I really like about this set is its ability to have passengers ride on the side by the pin they've got sticking out of the fuselage. As you can see, the pilot can sit in the pilot seat to fly the vehicle, and if you've got some spare figures, which I'm sure you do, you can attach them really nicely to the side by using the peg and the hole in their back. As you can see, you can get them in some really good poses, so I think this is going to be really good fun for when you're acting out scenes or doing some stop motion movies. I don't know why, I just really like seeing this pilot perched on the side of this Hornet. He looks like he's just ready to be dropped off straight into battle. Next up we have the printed pieces of the set. As you can see, there's a very nice UNSC print on the tail fin of the Hornet, printed in white. Next up we've got two printed pieces with red danger arrows on them pointing towards the turbo fans, just so you don't accidentally stick your hand in there. And then finally we have a printed console piece inside the cockpit, which is kind of difficult to see, but it's actually showing you readouts on that printed piece of the status of both of the engine pods. Another thing I liked on this set was this nose gun that they've got. It's so simple to put together, but yet so effective. It just suits this style of Hornet. I think that best describes this build. It is simple and it is different to the old Hornets, but it just works. Now that I've told you how much I like this set, it's time for me to tell you about the one thing that I didn't like about the set. When I was putting it together, I had a problem with the landing base collapsing on itself. As you can see by this outtake here, when I was trying to fit the pilot to the side of it, if you apply any pressure down in that area, the legs of the landing gear just pretty much fall off. There's no support there. And this is also true of if you've got the Hornet on a table and you try and fire the launchers from the top, again they collapse. I came up with a really easy fix for this, which I'd actually put in place to do the speed builds. Otherwise I just couldn't do it. It just kept collapsing on itself. So as you can see, I put these two 2x4 clear plates on first, and then I just put some of these skid pads on that they use on the bottom of things like the Rhino, and they also put them on the bottom of the Pelican gunship and various other vehicles. It's just to help them slide across the table or the floor easier. With these on, it gives you a really firm base to push down on. Now, I'm not saying that they had to do this, but when you look at how many spare parts came with this set, it would have been more handy if they just put these clear plastic parts in. Either way, if you do have this set and you do have these parts around, I'd strongly recommend installing them to the underneath of the landing gear, and then you won't have problems with it falling off. To finish off this review, I just wanted to show you one more thing that for me helped me to understand why I like this set so much, and it's when you place it alongside this, the UNSC Frostraven. Now, if you don't already know, I'm a big fan of this set. I absolutely love the Frostraven. I think they did such a great job designing this vehicle. And when you put the Hornet alongside it, I don't know if the designers designed it off the back of the Hornet or to go with it, but to me it looks like part of the range. They go together hand in hand so well. They complement each other in terms of style and scale, and that's where I think they got things right with the Hornet, because I don't think the old style of Hornet would suit this Frostraven, the current build style that Mega Construx have, as much as this new one does. And that's why I'm happy to say, not only do I have no regrets about buying this Hornet, I have every intention to buy at least one or two more. And the reason being is when I do set my dioramas up, this Frostraven is going to look absolutely amazing flanked by a fleet of these mini little Hornets. And that finalises my review of the UNSC Hornet Blitz set. So thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.